So, of course, with Rodgers leaving, we lose one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. We lose a legend in Aaron Rodgers, and it's always, it's sad that he's in New York, even though, he wanted to move on. But the thing is for the Packers this year is, in a sense, it's almost, I guess in hindsight after the fact, it's almost better that Rodgers had a somewhat down year because the Packers went 8-9. Obviously, would we have wanted to see them go, 13-3, 13-4, whatever it is now because of the 17-game season? Of course, but because of the subpar performance, I do think it gives Jordan Love a little bit of an easier, starting point coming into 2023. Because here's the thing, if Jordan Love wins 8 games in 2023 with the Packers, that matches the Packers last year with Aaron Rodgers. So I don't think that's a crazy idea that the Packers win 8 games in 2023. Is it really that wild of an idea? I really don't think it is. And when you look at Rodgers last year, 14th, the Packers had the 14th ranked scoring offense in the NFL. And Rodgers had the 17th ranked QB rating last season. His adjusted completion percentage was 15th. So he was pretty much a mid-tier quarterback last season. And when we look at, the discussion about Jordan Love around the internet, obviously you can pretty much find any opinion on anything. So of course you have the people who don't believe in Jordan Love, believe he's a bust. And here's the thing with, I think, calling a quarterback with one NFL start a bust. I just don't think you can do it. Can you predict that he's going to be bad? Okay, you saw him in college, you saw him in a preseason game, but can you really predict a guy is going to be a bust and be terrible after one NFL start? Jordan Love has one NFL start. Only one. And so that's why I think, obviously, it's hard to judge the Packers, and because of just the unknown and the uncertainty of Jordan Love, that is why it is so difficult to really to know what the Packers are going to be, because we don't really know what Jordan Love is. We have some bits and pieces, and I think that we have more of an idea after seeing him in this preseason and training camp of what he can be, but the reality is that we still don't fully know, which is why I think there's so many differing opinions, and lots of the Packers' success does come down to the play of Jordan Love this next season. But here's what I think. I think that when you look at what Jordan Love has done so far in camp, you look at I think he's had up and down days. Today was a down day per reporters, and when you look at that fact, you look at the fact that he has had some good moments. You look at that preseason game. Overall, I think it was a solid day for Jordan Love. 7 of 10, I think 46 yards, a touchdown. Of course, he had that missed throw, another missed throw to the screen that went that got tipped by the defender. It wasn't a great throw, but I think we've seen enough positives from Jordan Love to give me some. I guess I feel comfortable with what he's going to be just at a floor level, because if he was out here constantly having terrible days, that would have me worried. But yes, has he had up and down days? Yes, of course he had. He's a young quarterback in the league. But I still think that he's shown, at least from the reports I've seen from different beat reporters coming out of camp and seeing him in the preseason, it looks like he's, making wise decisions most times. Today, he didn't seem to make any, or lots of wise decisions. But I think that's clearly going to happen with a young quarterback in a very young offense. But then I think, when you sort of look at that, he's making lots of right reads, especially in that preseason game. He looks calm, comfortable, poised in the pocket, which I think you look back a couple of years ago, like a game against the Chiefs, he wasn't looking quite like that. He looked a little bit more uncertain, a little more shaky, and I think now he looks much more comfortable in the pocket, which makes sense after 3 seasons. And so I think that he's going to be between the 10th and 15th best quarterback just based off what he's done so far. I think average 15th-ish quarterback in the NFL, just based on what we've seen. And so considering that, I think that the biggest factor for this Packers team is this defense, which we had such high hopes of last season coming into it. We were all talking, I was here saying that I think they're going to be top 5. That was last year because of the additions here, drafting Devontae Wyatt in the first round, drafting Quay Walker in the first round. I really thought they could be something great with Jair coming back because the year before he'd only played in 4 or so games. And then, of course, they come in and underperform, which was sad to see. And so because of that, something I was thinking about today is, are we slightly underrating what this Packers defense can be? Because last year we saw the signs of, okay, this team should take a jump forward. But I think because lots of us were burned with the idea that this could be a great defense, that now we're not even contemplating that we could be great, just because it's like, well, we thought that last season. Are we really going to be great this year? But I think that's one underrated aspect of this team is Devontae Wyatt coming into year 2 on the D-line. Lots of I'd say this D-line will be better this next season because we had Dean Lowry, Jaron Reed the past couple seasons, and both of them, they're okay. They're solid-ish starters, but I think that a guy like Devonte Wyatt has a much, much higher ceiling. We've seen lots of great things from TJ Slayton in camp and in the preseason, and I really do think that this defense can take a step forward. Because what were we last year? 17th or so in the NFL. I think it was around that, 17th in scoring. And so because I personally do believe that Jordan Love at worst is going to be a mid-tier quarterback, I don't think he's going to be a bottom 10 quarterback. That's just my prediction. And maybe I'm wrong. We'll see once the season gets started, but I do think he'll at least be a mid-tier quarterback, and I think that that's where the floor is. That's my opinion from what I've seen from Love. I think that he has a lot of special to him, and we just haven't really witnessed too much of that yet because we haven't really seen him play, but I think it's coming. And so with that D-line being better, hopefully Rashawn Gary will be back. I really do think that this team is being slightly slept on. I do think that when you look at the other teams in the NFC North, I don't see why the Packers can't win the NFC North in 2023.